Boy, just
All
like
right.
Um,
dinner time, you know.
All right. Listen,
he don't understand that.
don't be eye big. Let's go around the group real quick. And introduce yourself. Dominica, starting with you. Short and sweet.
Um,
Short and sweet.
okay. I'm Dominica Thompson. I am a corporate secretary at one of the credit unions.
Mm,
Um, and I'm Jonathan's thorn in his backside.
yes.
Hey.
Go ahead, Kira.
Um, I'm Markera. I'm a life coach and full-time mom.
And Jack.
Oh, my name is Jessica Cantor. I'm a full-time mom. I have a landscaping business, and I'm a software engineering student.
Wow.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna start off with our first question. Just came from Dominica, but I want to show you a video first, and I would like your reaction to this video first, okay? And then we'll get into the question.
Investigative reporter Matt Kroschel is joining us live tonight. Matt, 31-year-old Andrea Serrano was facing sexual assault charges, but accepted this new plea deal to stay out of prison.
Adam Serrano gave birth to a baby boy. She admitted to having sex with that 13-year-old. The victim's mother, who we're not going to identify in this story, tells us she is not happy with this deal offered to a woman she says ruined her son's life.
I feel like my son's robbed of his childhood. Now he's having to be a father. He's a victim, and he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life.
This mother says watching her son struggle with the reality he now faces breaks her heart.
What has this been like for your son?
It's caused him a lot of depression. He's shut down a lot.
Now she questions why this woman won't face prison time.
I feel like if she was a man and he was a little girl, it would definitely be different. They would be seeking incarceration. And I feel like because she's a woman, they're not. They're having compassion for her because she was pregnant. But I don't think they take into play, again, she was pregnant by a child. You know, that child was created from a sexual abuse.
Under terms of the plea deal the suspect signed off on, she'll be required to register as a sex offender, and the judge could sentence her to 10 years to life of sex offender intensive supervised probation. But Serrano will avoid any jail time since the DA's office dropped the original charges to a lesser charge that does not come with mandatory jail time.
What should other parents be looking for?
Don't trust anybody, honestly. I mean, you can't trust anybody now.
Oh, first question is, well, first of all, let's go around. What's your reaction to that, Jess? Do you feel she should have got jail time, or?
Yeah, I think she should have gone to jail because regardless if it's a male or a female that was still a child, she most likely took his innocence away. It was rape because he can't consent. He was, what, 13, I think they said?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she raped him. Now he's a father to a rape baby. She should be in jail for at least 10 years because if that was a man that did it to a little girl, they would most definitely be in jail. She should be in jail.
Under the jail.
Mm-hmm.
Kira, what do you feel?
I agree. And the thing is, wasn't it several, like maybe a decade or two ago, the teacher went to jail for sleeping with a student? So
Yeah.
they've put them in jail before. So do the same thing.
But
I think it depends on the state that you're in.
yeah,
Because each state have a different law, and based on what state you in determines your jail time or your sentence time.
Yeah, because usually women tend to get a more lenient.
Yeah, which isn't
And-
fair. It should
and-
be straight across the board.
So here's the question. Here's the question that came in from Dominique. Is there a rise in child abuse in the Bahamas? And also, are young boys and men being shamed for speaking up about being abused by women and men? Do you think child abuse is on the rise, or it's just now that we have we're in the era of social media, we're just more, you see it more because people put it on social media more. You think
I think that-
Mhm, go
I
ahead.
think there's more awareness. I don't think there's an increase. I think people are just more aware.
I agree with her. I think there's an extreme rape culture in the Bahamas that nobody seems to want to speak up about. There's a lot of incest going on, a lot of mothers. I don't know. I probably fathers as well. Family members are ashamed. So, you probably got that little weird cousin over there who touched someone. They don't want to bring shame to the family, all these different things. Then we have the whole bus riding situation with these young girls that ride buses with these big grown men. And I'm
But
not
it's,
trying to shame the young girls because I feel like they are the victims. Um, these big grown men, 40 something, 50 something olds, riding around with Jesus. How old do you have to be in junior school? I think from the age of 11 up to 17. That's how old these girls who's be riding in these buses with these big grown men. So these things have been happening. It's just that a lot of us didn't have phones to record it when we would have seen it. Um, social media wasn't there, so they got to be a little bit more careful. But it's been happening for a very long time.
right. So that speaks to what I'm asking you. Is it on the increase, or just now that like Kira said, it's just we now
Yeah,
aware of
I
it
don't think
more?
it's on the increase. I think we just more aware now because the social media, the phones, all these stuff, we more aware. It's been happening. Ain't on the rise.
Dominico?
I agree with the panel. I don't think it's on a rise. I think it's now in our face because everybody have a phone and everybody's now making it known that it is happening. However, the issue that I have with it is when it comes to persons being in the neighborhood or the community and they know these things are happening, because I'm sure someone lives next to somebody and they could hear the child being abused and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's saying nothing about it. I'm sure there are children going to school with bruises, with marks. Nobody says anything because it's not their business. There isn't a rise, but there's more awareness, and the awareness need to be whereas people are stepping forward and saying, you know what, this is happening, and not criticizing, I guess, or making the child feel uncomfortable when they do come forward. So
Well, someone said, to be honest, could you guys see that?
Yeah.
It says, to be honest, it's hard to say if it's an increase or not. The thing is, it seems more potent because we know about it, and people are constantly getting charged with it and being seems to be brought on
it's
social
more
media.
in the media. It's more in the media.
Yeah, because I think people sick and tired of it being under the rug.
Yeah.
Hush, hush.
And then
Yeah.
more persons are being held accountable. But what is disturbing to me is when they feel they have to hide who the individual is, who's doing these nasty things. Why
Now,
we hiding them?
at least statistically, it shows that there are more women are being abused than men. But could that be because men are not encouraged to come forward?
Well, I can tell you for a fact that the way men are viewed in a situation like that, because I just had an experience with a friend last year. Her son was working with a woman, and come to find out, the woman took advantage of him. And because he almost was age, it was almost like no big deal. When we called the police, the line of questioning the police took us on. It was like, you trying to make it sound like either it was his fault, he wanted it, or he should feel flattered that an older woman wanted him. That ain't
That's
what this about. This
Sure,
about the fact that he working for her and she took advantage.
that's
How
exactly.
old was he?
He was 17 and she was pushing 30, and she have a 15-year-old and a 6-year-old child. She have 2 children.
So she touched him inappropriately or she raped him? Like
They had sex. She kept talking to him till eventually they had sex.
well, okay. I mean, what's the law on that? 17, you could give consent. When you're 16, who could you give consent to? Someone
Consent.
who is 18, like that's the max when you're 16, right?
Again,
I think
yes,
that's the max, if I'm
Well,
not
You could give
mistaken.
consent to anybody.
Yeah, when you're 16, you can give consent to anybody.
To
Anybody?
anybody.
And then
Anybody.
At
he
16, yes.
he was upset about it, and talking to him and talking him through it, it's something that traumatized him, but nobody want to take it serious. Nobody
But see,
is like I said, it's supposed to be some kind of flattery because the older woman wanted him. And by the time the police finished questioning his mom and the way they did their question, I said, y'all can take him through more trauma because the police almost making it sound like a joke. They almost didn't take it serious. That come to
Oh,
find out, when you talk to other people in the community, that's the way she operates. She's often preying on younger boys. He's in the first
so
one.
so it goes back to my question then. I mean, we have to protect our young girls and women. I agree. But it seems that there's a lesser people are not as aggressive when it comes to little boys. It's like Carol, like you were saying, it's almost like you should be flattered that an older woman mess with you. I know I have friends who lost their virginity at 11, 12, 13 by an older woman. And we are, I guess, trained to brag about it. But that's isn't that rape or isn't that molestation if someone older mess with you? You're so young?
It's rape. At that age, it's statutory rape. And then nobody thinks about the emotional and mental effect on a male that it does. They think men, they tough and they can handle it and they can get through it. No, I watching the fallout from this because that was his first. He'd never been with nobody.
so
So
I have
you
a
have this
quick.
big old woman taking
Uh,
advantage of him, and he ain't supposed to feel some type of way about it.
a little something to add. The problem with this whole thing too is, right? He's supposed to feel flattered and all this foolishness. That's what a lot of people are thinking. But what if this woman was sick with something?
That's
You're
true.
supposed to feel flattered that a big, grown, dirty woman who's probably been with multiple men
She
has
has.
kids. So therefore, she's been unprotected with different men.
Yeah, you don't know what
Takes
STD
your
is.
virginity. You are clean. You've never been with anybody. And if she is sick, oh my, I'm hoping that whatever she may have had would be curable. But what if it's not?
Well, the
The
first thing
whole,
they did, they took him for a full STD panel afterwards when they
yeah,
found.
this is foolishness because I don't think you should be flattered about anything, male or female, especially if you've never been with anybody. That is that's detrimental to your health. That big, grown, dirty woman. You don't know what she could have had.
No, I totally agree, and I'm just saying I don't see much way in or um, much clubs or thing for little boys and men, and this is a lot of women don't know this, but this is why a lot of young boys tend to act aggressively or treat women bad sometimes because they view them as an object now because they were abused when they were young and no one they were told to go to call a shut your mouth boy. You should be glad of that. Or if they go to their daddy saying, "Oh, they're making you a man." But it like
You
Karen
will
said,
see the comment up before this one said that I wouldn't take it that serious unless he's a gay young man.
See, that's where the problem is right there.
That's it right there. Until a
That's
same
the
young
problem right
man
there.
is sick and you got to carry him for a lifetime full of meds. It's foolishness.
but that,
And the
that's
If
how
thing
that
they.
I don't have a son, but I know what I would have been doing.
But that's how
he
they.
working with her. He
But that's
working
how
with
they.
her. She's trying to get him to sleep with her again, and he keep telling her no. She stopped calling him to go on jobs. That's all she wanted him for. So that having
Yeah, but
all
then he
he
hasn't
was trying
gone
to
to
put
the
away.
proper authorities because I was going over that police
What do
head.
you mean the proper? Okay, I've known
I was
guys.
I was going to the commissioner. I was going to the
Listen,
news outlets. I
I
was
don't
It
go.
know.
becomes a
Somebody
he
was gonna
say, she
stop and
say.
listen to me.
Hold on,
It
I'm a man.
becomes a
I'm telling.
she say. We checked into it. We dug into it. It becomes a he say, she say, and with no hard evidence of there's no text message trail, there's no other trail. It's his
That's
word against hers.
It's
So
yeah.
also very embarrassing as well. Um, when sexual assault happens and then the circus they take you through with the media, the this, the that, it's very embarrassing to the victim.
I
Like, I
think,
mean, I would, you know what I mean? Like maybe they thinking about all that too. Like him, it's his decision.
but I think it's 10 times worse when it happens to a little boy or a man or teenager because you're supposed to like it. For
Yeah, it's
boys,
you're expected to.
you're supposed to like it, so you you feel ashamed to speak up. And, and my last point on this before we move on is I don't know how many of you guys are cousins and brothers or uncles who may have been abused or beaten by a woman, and try to go to the police station, go to one of these police stations and report that and see what happens if they don't get laughed out the police station that my girlfriend beat me up or whatever. Usually they don't take that seriously when a man comes to this guy slap my head off. Well, he's a punky.
You wonder why so many men in society angry and can't catch themselves and don't know if they going or coming.
Anyways,
They
exactly.
damaged. That's what it is, damaged.
Um,
And they project that same hurt and
Right.
anger on any female that's in their lives.
and that's why when you see these men come into your lives with relationships, they're so broken or whatever. You say, why are you acting like this? Because they're
And
not.
there's really no outlet for them.
No. What does this question say? What it says? The thing is, could you read that, Josh? Could you read that?
The thing is, what does it say about the standards of that woman? If any child meets the requirements to sleep with you, that means you have no standards and there's no sense of accomplishment in sleeping with you.
She's a predator.
Yeah, it came out. It's starting to come out, and people have said that's how she's always operated. She's
She's a
known to take the
predator.
older men for money and then take the money and flash it for the younger boys and fool with the younger boys. So she damaged herself because it had to start somewhere.
Who knows what she carrying around?
Yeah.
Jesus.
So there's no
No, but
DNA.
it almost sound like she herself has gone through some form of abuse and now she's projecting it in other forms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's usually broken people hurt other people too. Hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
The abuse has become the abuser.
Exactly. But that's it right there.
But
So maybe somebody need to check into her background as to what she may have gone through. I'm not giving her any justification for it, but at the same time, when you see things like this, 9 times out of 10, that person may have been abused when they themselves were younger.
and I like to talk about solutions as well. My last point on this is, what do you encourage young boys, or someone who may view this later, who may be watching this, what do you encourage young boys and men to do, or if they are being abused right now by their uncle or by their sister, the cousin, whatever? What advice you have for them as intelligent women? Any advice?
Well, for me personally, being a survivor of sexual abuse, the advice I would give them is keep telling somebody. As much persons as you could possibly tell, keep telling them. Somebody eventually is going to listen to you. Somebody's going to hear you. Don't stop, because when you stop telling somebody, that's when the real hurt starts, because now you have to deal with what's being done to you and you have to suffer in silence. Keep telling somebody.
Talk to your parents. I know some parents who will tell them.
No, sometimes that don't even work.
I agree. I about to tell you. I know some parents who will tell the boy child, listen, be a man, suck it up. But this question was sent in by Charlotte. She said she had a meeting, so she'll be joining us shortly. She wanted us to ask, or wanted us to discuss briefly, do you think homelessness is on the increase in the Bahamas? Homelessness, people walking, the derelicts you see walking around the streets. And lastly, mental health or mental issues. Do you think we as Black people, the Black community, or the Bahamians in general, do we take mental health serious?
No.
So that's a two-part question. Do you think homelessness is on the rise in the Bahamas? And do you think as a Black community, we take mental health serious?
I'm not sure about homelessness. Reason being is because just like being in Nassau, right? Because I haven't been to every island in the Bahamas, but being in Nassau, when I do go out on the streets and everything, it's normally like the same set of people that I see, but just because I'm not seeing it doesn't mean it's not happening, because you have cases where people live in their cars, they go by a friend's house to shower, XYZ, you know what I mean? So you might never know that this person doesn't have somewhere stable to live. So I'm not sure about homelessness. And the other question, what was the other question again? The other part?
Mental health.
Oh,
Mental
mental
health.
health.
Yeah.
I don't think we take it seriously. And then also I feel like getting like therapy sessions and different stuff like that. Everything over here is expensive. That's not like that's not a secret. But I myself personally have looked into therapy and kind of like just I feel like everybody should do it, right? But it is so expensive. I paid like over $100 and some for an hour. And I felt like I like it just, I don't know, it discouraged me because I'm like, I'm paying $100 and some to sit here and talk to this person. And I didn't really get no type of
Yeah, but I don't think
assistance.
I don't think you will be able to get a closure in one session.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. I understand you don't get closure in one session, but who can realistically pay this person over $100 and some with the cost of living in the Bahamas every week to come there and talk about problems? Like realistically, that price is extreme. I feel like for me, I feel like and I feel like they need to start offering that as a part of medical coverage or something, or there need to be some sort of like free counseling or something like that. And then also it's so scary in the Bahamas. You might go to a counselor and then it's like everybody know everybody. Like I don't know, will this really be confidential? You know, it's
Yeah.
very scary.
Exactly.
That part is that stops a lot
Well,
of people.
not
Confidential.
to veer off from the subject, when I was 10 years ago, I went to the hospital for an issue I had. I was like 17. I'm 27 now, going 28. My cousin worked at the hospital. This is why I'm so like, you know, it's scary. You know that my family, before I gone home, knew that I was at the hospital. She told them. She worked there. And she told them, and they told me that she told them.
Yep.
Okay.
There's no secrecy in the Bahamas.
There's
Ain't
a
nothing
lack
is
of
a secret.
respect, nobody privacy.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dominica, do you think
Aye.
homelessness is on the rise? Yes or no, or you agree with Jess?
I agree with most of what she said in terms of seeing the same faces. However, going through the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people were displaced as a result of poor saving habits, not being prepared for any catastrophe that could come our way. And I think if there is a rise, because I don't know the statistics on it, but if there is a rise on it, I am sure that it came from the pandemic, because a lot of people lost their jobs and people are currently still feeling the fallout from the pandemic. In terms of mental health, where do I begin? I feel like the government themselves have done a disadvantage. They do nothing in regards to mental health. We don't do half. I don't even think we acknowledge that there is a mental health issue in the Bahamas. I have a sister that's schizophrenic, and I think she was diagnosed at the age of 34. She's now 49. For them to get her on a proper regimen, they had to actually try a number of different potions, I call it, just to find out what was right for her. And in the same time of them trying all these different pills to find the right regimen for her, it made her worse. However, there's no scientific proof that what they're giving them is what they should actually be taking. And there's nothing that the government is doing to say put money into areas where they could actually find, or even research, do anything in regards to mental health. It's not on their agenda. So no, I don't think they're doing, there's not enough being done where mental health is concerned. God help you if you have to go to Sandilands.
But is it a stigma attached to going to Sandilands? Or you think that's going away? Because it used to be a stigma. You go to the Crazy House or, back in the day. Is that stigma still attached to going to Sandilands?
What was the stigma?
That you go into the Crazy House or they going up there. Yeah, they ain't good. But back in at least what I remember, do you think there's still a stigma now?
I don't recall a stigma. The only thing that I remember, and which is still true today, is once you have a pink slip, you could get off killing somebody. Because that pink slip signify that you have been to Sandilands and you've been diagnosed with a mental illness.
Kara, what do you think?
That's the only stigma I know.
As for homelessness, well, where I live in Eleuthera, I couldn't say the situation over here, but I do know, seeing bits and pieces of the news online, it seems to be on the rise. Like Dominica said, because of the pandemic, I see more people asking for help, needing assistance, and stuff like that. And as for mental health, I can tell you they don't take it seriously. Even like I said, with the situation with the young man and the lady, he's going to need support. And trying to find that support is kind of difficult because between the price and people sort of side-eyeing like, well, you should be flattered. No, it's a big joke. It's like, in the States, you have coverage under insurance. Over here, I don't even know if private insurance would cover you needing to go to therapy.
No.
See?
I have some insurance. My insurance say, I think they allocate 15,000, I believe, to this ain't therapy now. This is if I get diagnosed with some mental illness. I think they're gonna cover something in regards to that.
Right,
but I gotta be diagnosed.
To get the diagnosis.
Yes,
you have to be diagnosed from suffering.
So I mean, it sort of backwards. Like, I need help. I need the coverage to get diagnosed before I can claim anything else under the insurance.
Crazy.
You laugh, you cry over here. The foolishness behavior to expect it to accept.
But I think what you mentioned, Dominica, the pandemic, but people are still reeling from Dorian. I could talk for Abaco, and for Abaco, a lot of the persons still deal with mental health issues, watching family members get decapitated, watching like I said, I can also talk about my brother watching his two kids drown and not being able to do anything about it. You have a lot of people walking around with people, because everyone got going back to their lives and they forgot about that's a couple of years ago. But you still have parents, you still have people still dealing with that. They watch horrific stuff happen, and I don't think no one's supposed to be seeing that. So that goes back to what we were saying. Mental health is an issue, but everyone brushing it around and saying, yeah, that's years ago. You should get over it by now.
And I don't think they ever got any assistance in terms of being able to talk to somebody.
That's what I was about to ask. Like, was there any allocation of mental health support for the people to process what they went through?
No, I don't remember. A lot of people turn to drugs. I mean, I know a person start drinking a lot more to cope with it. Some people start to abuse drugs, and people usually conflate drug use. What you'll see these people walking around, but it's not always drugs that cause them to do that. It's mental health issues, and they try to self-medicate by taking drugs, but it's not the drugs per se. It's the mental health issues. But on a lighter note, because those are two heavy topics. On a lighter note, I want you to watch this right quick and give me your reaction to this video here.
A big thing with me is that we don't study, like we don't be that invested into one another to really study that person, to know the person that you're in a relationship with. She ain't really watching that no more. I notice her friends have changed. If you start to see these things in your partner and you do nothing to explore that with them, then yes, those are creating tunnels. If her love language is quality time and she comes home from work and you come home from work and you sitting on the couch and I got to catch up on my football game, but you know your girl's love language is quality time, or it has developed into quality time because maybe it was gifts when you met her, but now it's developed into quality time. And if here go a gift, but you're not spending time with her.
It's not incumbent upon me to have to study my woman when my woman lives in my house, showers, and sleeps in the same domicile that I do. So how is it incumbent on me to have to study my woman that has a mouth
it's
that
not
can...
even about studying,
For
it's
sure,
about being
because
aware.
you put the accountability on the man to have to study my woman to see that her teeth...
There's been plenty of times where I've seen my man not acting the way that he usually does. Not speaking the way he does, or doing the things that I know that he likes to do. And
it's an awareness. It's an awareness.
If you're saying you're in the same domicile,
I think that's a part of the choice. That's a part of the choice. The choice to stay curious.
Constantly exploring.
So here's the question. You're a little smarter than me. So there's a question that was asked. If your significant other loves you, should they study you? Is it your responsibility to study your partner habits and love languages?
Okay, well, I just did a series on the book, The 5 Love Languages. So I like that this came up. I think it's the responsibility of both people to know who you're with, to understand who you're with, and I don't understand how it's a difficulty or it's a problem because you're supposed to study who you're with. You're not supposed to just coexist, passing each other in this like tunnel. If you love the person, you're supposed to be concerned about their welfare. So if you notice them pulling away from you, then obviously there's an issue you need to dig into. There's something going on that you need to be aware of. And as for knowing each other's love languages, of course, how are you supposed to communicate, and not just communicate, how are you supposed to understand each other? Like,
how are you supposed to love me if you don't know my love language? How do you love me?
That's because they love Stay with each other for different reasons. That's why one might be in love. The one who nonchalant, don't care what you're going through, don't notice nothing about you. Maybe you've been wearing your hair like this for 10 years, then one day you decide to change it. He or
they don't even notice it.
Never notice. Yeah, because you serving a purpose. Yeah, and whatever purpose that is, you still fulfilling it. They never loved you. They probably never even liked you.
Right. So they'll notice me sliding out the door at that rate.
Because half of the rent might not be getting paid no more. So my roommate that I have benefits with just left. So now I got to figure this out.
So, okay then. No, that don't.
Anytime I start talking to a man to date him, I send him that love language test that I get offline. And then I send him my results and I express to him, these are my top 3 love languages in order. Let me see yours. And I feel like that is part of the foundation when you're getting to know someone, so you can love me properly in the way I want to be loved. Don't love me the way you want to be loved. Love me the way that I receive love. And I'll do the same for you, or I'll try to do the same for you to the best of my ability.
So you guys believe the love languages?
Yes. Yes. Okay. But let me answer your question, Jonathan. In regards to that clip. The reason why I think you have to always be cognizant when it comes to a relationship or your relationship is because relationships are forever changing.
I agree.
You constantly growing. If y'all in it for the long haul, you will constantly be growing within that relationship. One day my love language might be quality time. Then I get involved with schooling. I take on a new business. Quality time may not be my love language going through all those situations. So I may take on another love language, but it's your job as my man to take notice of these things, because we have to bounce off of each other, and it's a growing process.
That goes into my next question. Can you outgrow someone in a relationship? And what happens?
Yes.
And what happens if you outgrow? Hold on. And what happens if you outgrow your partner in a marriage? What should someone do in that situation? There's not boyfriend girlfriend. It's in a marriage, but you feel like intellectually or whatever, you academically, you may have outgrown your partner. So just try it in a dating phase first. You've been with this guy or this girl for a number of years. You may even share a child, but you find yourself no longer stimulated intellectually or whatever for this person. What do you do in a dating phase? And the second part of that question is, if that happens in a marriage, how do you address that? I'll start with you too, Jess, because you're making these funny faces. So
I was making faces because I've never been married, and I was like, I need to slowly bow down before they crucify me.
That's why I asked you. That's why I asked you both. From Go ahead.
Counseling. I feel like firstly, I feel like both partners should have a conversation and come to an agreement to go to counseling. I don't feel like you should just end it just like that. If this is a real relationship, you both love each other, or y'all are in love, however that is, I feel like both people need to go to counseling and figure out how to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like try to figure it out. If it's worth saving, if there's no abuse, none of that stuff, is a healthy relationship, but you just felt like, hey, maybe I don't know, I guess I have my PhD now and he isn't excelling or doing anything, like, express your concerns to him and, move through it, go to counseling. But if you notice that nothing changes and you're still in connecting, then for me personally, as far as I know, Jessica only have one life. And I ain't staying. I'm sorry to whoever's listening out there. I'm not going to stay. If you refuse counseling, if you refuse trying to change and basically grow with me, and you know what I mean? I'm not staying, because it makes no sense to me just to be walking around empty inside to say I'm married. And that's what a lot of people doing right now. They're ashamed. I'm not going to do it. I have one life and I'm good.
You will walk away from your marriage.
Oh, yes, I would. If you refuse to change, let's say you refuse to go to counseling, you refuse to change, it's the same old, and I'm not happy. Why should I stay?
Hold on. I didn't say this person's a bad man, He's not no longer, because you may have gone to school and upgrade yourself. You might have a bachelor's now, a master's, where he may be still at a high school diploma. Like, you're more exposed. This discussions, you might be thinking about globalization and talking about all this other stuff, and he's still talking about going on in the dark by Portisky to get some concept. Like, the conversation is your level of your vocabulary have changed, and he's not a bad guy. He just isn't exposed like as you are.
Yeah, but if he's not willing to compromise and try and upgrade himself, what's the point?
It seems like we could be stuck, like it's always going to be a problem.
Because when I want to talk about politics, or I want to talk about the stupid decisions my government is making, and you can't relate, what we can talk about?
At some point, he's going to resent you too. He's going to resent you and think that you're better than him, or you're smarter than him, and all your fancy lawyer friends and the this and the that, when you want to go hang out with your people, he's going to resent you.
And it's going to cause a lot of problems.
Now, hold on, not Jess. Now, Dominica, Jess, you all might think you're better than him, though, because now you're hanging around.
Me personally, I might become bougie, and I probably will think I'm better than him.
I don't think it's necessary.
You have to marry on your level. You
No,
have
but
to
you
marry
Guess
on your
what,
level.
Dominica? Y'all might have been on the same level when y'all got married. It's just that you chose during the marriage to upgrade yourself, like educationally. You might even start working out and doing all these things. When he see that, he can start to resent you if he don't want to move with you.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, apples and oranges ain't gonna attract each other.
No. Hold on. You hear what? Hold on. Before I say something, Kara, what you were trying to say?
All I'm saying is, I don't see there's a problem in matching energy. If I propelling myself forward, I
You
would
should
think
prepare
that you
yourself.
propelling yourself forward along with me.
Hold on.
Not
Hold on,
watching and you getting mad.
Hold on, Kara. What if the same person who you propelling yourself forward was the one who financially financed that college career? He's that same. I mean, no. What I'm saying is, he supported you. He said, "You know what, Jess? You know what, Dominica? You know what, Kara? I love you. I can go. I can work double shifts at the wherever hotel. Or I'll work double, triple shifts to support you. You don't have to work. I will do that so you can excel." And now that remember, you also hang around the same crew, but now you're more exposed, you're educated now. So now that means you could get a better job. Meaning you're probably making more money than the guy now. So you're around people who are on your academic plane. Do you just walk away from a guy? He didn't do anything wrong. He supported you. He pushed you to go, but now he's comfortable where he's at. He's not a bad guy. So he's saying now that you arrive.
So how about I say this?
You have a certain amount of time to work through things, and if he ain't trying to, because I'm willing to work, and if he want propel, I'm willing to help him propel. If he don't want to, then we go our separate ways.
Honey, I leave it.
If you want
I
to
agree with Kira. I'm cheating on you.
My
lawyer friend.
Draw up a contract to pay you back all my school fees. My head bad. I don't.
I'll finance his schooling, and if this man don't take that opportunity to go back to school and upgrade himself while I working and paying for it, then he just don't want to upgrade, and we can need to part ways.
So you saying Jess, he can quit his job, and you'll
yeah.
Boy,
Yes, I would. But guess what? Most of them ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna do that. But I would do it. If he did it for me and now I'm making more money, I could take care of this, take care of that. Let me help upgrade you because you did it for me.
So you around these new lawyer friends and this different, you think you still respect him like that?
Yeah, because the same way how I became a lawyer, he could come up too.
Listen to me, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even going to lie. If you ain't willing to pull yourself up where I am, or even meet me halfway, buddy, we're gonna have to part ways, or you would catch me cheating.
No, don't cheat. Don't cheat. Just leave. Because that could get real messy.
It's gonna become stagnant because I ain't talking to you because you don't get me. You ain't talking to me because I don't get you. What's the point?
Don't forget you better. You think you better than him now with your new fancy lawyer friends.
I can be bougie.
I'm sensing the moral of the story is invest in yourself first before you invest in somebody else. Because they may need you.
If you want me to say,
you know what you missing, Jordan? You know what you missing? Some of these guys would actually prefer to invest in a woman. They prefer because they actually don't want to. They feel like they can't really. Oh, school ain't for me. This ain't for me. That ain't for me. But you won't go. I can send you, and they want you to stick around. Mm-hmm. Like what? Some ain't willing to do it at all.
Anyhow, I want you all to look at this other video and tell me what you think.
You could be in a depression. Something tragic can happen to you. Your money may not be right, and then you just really just not in the mood to have that intimacy. You just don't want to have sex. If I'm not in the mood because something happened to me, maybe I lost my job, something happened to me, and I'm just not. I'm not in the mood. I could go a week, but longer than that, I have to respect my man too. Like, come on, he and I didn't know that until recently. Because before it'd be like, I don't feel like it, so no. I'm not going to do it, so no. No, it's compromise. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, it may not be the best, but I'll hand you some.
So here it is.
Yes. So you would have to try to get yourself in the mood beforehand? Like you got to
get yourself in the mood. You have to I then looked at porn. I didn't try to, because again, you're just not into it, and they can feel that.
Yeah.
You know, men like, oh, I just want, but it's not. It's the experience. If I just lay down and I don't make any noises, you'll hate it.
So,
anything, you could be in a depression. Something.
Here's the question: in a relationship, how long can a significant other not be in the mood for sex? 1 week, 4 weeks, 3 months? How long?
That's up to the individual people to sit down and have a discussion about and get to the bottom of why y'all are not being intimate.
No. You want to be intimate, but your significant other, for whatever reason, is not in the mood for giving you any. How long do you give that? Go ahead.
It goes back to communication. You have to ask them.
I'm not in the
mood. Find out with them. Why are you not in the mood?
I don't
feel it. I can't tell you how long I would wait because I need to find out why they're not in the mood. It could be a legit reason or something going on that we need to deal with. Why they're not in the mood. I wouldn't want someone to like pressure me if I have something going on that we need to talk about. So like I said, that's up to the individual people involved. That goes back to communication and comprehending each other.
Nothing medical. It's just that they may have a hard time at work, or they may just not be in the mood, or they may not feel sexy. How long could they not feel sexy, not be in the mood? That's what I'm saying. 1 week
before it becomes a problem. That's
a problem for you. That's for another person. For you. Jeff,
shall I give you 1 week? You better get it together in a week.
Right down.
A week. I ain't going over that.
So if he come to you and say, listen, I just going through midlife crisis, or I just feel like whatever. The person he got 1 week?
Child, you know what I start learning now?
Keep out the head, no.
No. This is what I start learning. Don't crucify me, but we as women just gotta do what we gotta do. And if you're feeling sexy or you in a midlife crisis or whatever it is, I could honestly understand that, But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna wait an extended period of time for you, because most likely that man would not do that for me. No. I've heard men say if you gain a few pounds, they're gonna leave. So you got about a week to feel unsexy. Because I can tell you one thing, Kim changing your oil. So somebody will be changing my oil. So that's what I think.
Kira, I'm saying
by the time if I done bring all of my toys inside that bed on the side of you will get in the mood, darling.
I'm saying to the double standard here.
We ain't playing that.
I don't think it's a double standard, because you realize I feel like women actually get cheated on the most when they're pregnant, carrying a whole nother life inside them. Right?
Not necessarily. I don't think so. I think
so. A lot of guys confess that they be afraid to hurt the baby and the this and the that, and women be very horny when they're pregnant.
That goes back to you not sending that person to school, because if an educated man will know that you can't really hurt the baby. So I blame you.
That's true, but I just saying it's like a mind thing with them.
I blame you for that. He sent you to school now. You haven't a child for the boy. You ain't going to school. He would know better than that. I blame you for that.
Me? Child. There's be out there. And what about the 6 weeks that the doctor recommend you to wait? Some of them can't even wait 6 weeks. So imagine you coming to me talking about you don't feeling sexy, you don't have no medical issue and nothing wrong with you, and I must wait until you feel sexy again. Better get the hell out of here and come back when you feeling sexy.
So you say
you feel sexy.
So you don't even want you to wait when you on your period.
Exactly. Something happening there. You
ain't feeling nothing wrong with your mouth.
Okay. I ain't saying I'll cheat. Then we gotta take a little break. I don't believe in cheating, I don't believe in cheating. I always just encourage people to just leave. Like, we can either discuss something, we can come to some sort of agreement, because I honestly don't believe in cheating.
Anyhow, we got a couple more minutes. Let me go to this one here.
Weight to men or height to women? Explain.
What's more important, weight to men, height to women?
I definitely think height to women. Definitely. I mean, weight to men. Wait, we give y'all some room to work with. You know, we give y'all some room to work with. If you got a little gut, as long as you got a big old butt, we definitely not really gonna be pressing it. But height is finite. Height, you there, you here. If you this tall, you always gonna be this tall.
That's what I was about to say.
And women equate height to safety. Even if the dude is tough, he can throw hands, but he's short. A lot of time he gonna get looked over because he not reaching those requirements that the woman have.
Let's get that bag.
But that is very true.
Weight to men or height to women?
So what do you guys think about that? Do you think men are more reasonable when it comes to women? If she got a little bit of weight but she have a nice booty, do men overlook that little bit of weight and say, I could work with that? Versus a woman say, boy, this nigga short, I ain't dealing with him. He too short. Who is more understanding, women or men, when it comes to height and weight?
I think men.
No idea.
I think
men.
So you don't think women overlook, Kara, you don't think women overlook short guys?
I have no idea. I mean, personally, my ex-husband is 5'7", and my current partner is 6'1".
Exactly.
Jump. Take him out like that. Listen, does height matter?
No, height don't. No, I only can speak for myself. Height don't matter. The last person I dated was a tad bit shorter than me, and I'm 5'6.5".
You're shorter than you.
So yeah, it don't matter unless that person is like, unless I could look on top of your head like you look like a child to me or something, then I don't feel like I would be interested. But if you're a little bit shorter than me or we the same height or whatever, that don't matter to me.
What about you, Dominica?
I don't think it mattered to me either, because I've had short guys. Nothing shorter than I am, but I've had short guys. I've had tall guys, and it didn't matter.
Okay. And this is the last one here. And this for you, Dominica. You said don't bring no cheating questions here. So cheating questions.
How long do you give somebody to get over cheating? Meaning,
How long get over cheating?
she's the cheater.
What do you mean by that?
Because I ain't never in my life heard somebody say, how long? Nigga, get over it. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
We look at people's reactions to what we've done to disrespect them, and then it's not long enough for us, or it's not quick enough for us. But you don't know what that person has gone through. Cheating will literally break a person down. Cheating will literally ruin your self-esteem, your confidence, and some more. So when something happens and we cheat, and we say, damn, it's been 3 months and this bitch still mad. Yeah, and I'm gonna bring it up on Tuesday.
Yeah, but with that being said, how do we move forward?
So the question is, Jess, Kira, and Dominica, how long do you give someone, if you cheated on them, how long do you give them before you tell them to listen, boss, you need to get over this now? How long do you give them?
You can't give me no time frame.
No. Hold on. This is what I said just now. How long do you give? You cheated. You did the cheating. And they throw it in your face, man, Dominique, boy. Just say you all go to the restaurant or whatever, and you may look at the maitre d', you may look at the waiter too hard, say, you want juice to me? Whatever. So the person throwing it in your face, how long do you give them, Jess?
This kind of deep, but to be honest with you, I would have expected that person to discard me, because from I get to a point in the relationship that I'm going to cheat, I don't expect that person to forgive me, and then I don't really have no respect for them after. That means they'll just accept anything that I do at this point. So ain't no time frame or nothing like that. You take me back, you're gonna accept anything that I do, and it's gonna get worse and worse. So at that point, I don't even care. It's pretty deep for me. Like at that point, like if you caught me cheating, or if I got to the point of cheating and you caught me, ain't no time frame or anything like that. It's gonna get worse, and I have to respect you. Ain't no time frame.
All right now, Kara, if you the one who was cheating, how long do you give your significant other to get over it?
Same page as Jess, because as far as I'm concerned, the minute someone else catch my eye, our relationship over.
You see why men don't anyhow. Dominica. You see why men don't take women back?
See, I ain't taking it back neither. I don't totally agree. I don't know. I mean, my thing is, if I'm the cheater, I'm at your mercy. If I really want to make this relationship work, I'm at your mercy. And cheating is one of the hardest things to get past because there's so much mechanisms that go along with that. But me as a person, I only can take your bullshit for so long. It's either you want to work this out or you don't want to work this out. And so it's hard to say how long. It's hard to put a number on it. But I can't tell you I going past 6 months of taking bullshit. And I know I've given you my best. No, I ain't going past 6 months.
Moral has do not take cheaters back, even if it's me. Don't take me back. Don't.
Just don't cheat.
Some people is truly making
there is that, Kira. You're right. That's why I tell you I don't believe in cheating because I already know what happened.
You know, my thing is, the minute someone else can catch me in a conversation, you in danger. That means something ain't right between me and you. Because as far as I'm concerned, when I'm with you, only you I can see. Only you.
Exactly.
So
y'all blaming the victim. It's the victim. He ain't doing something right.
Not the victim, I think it's more so the relationship isn't giving anymore. That's why her eyes are now wandering. But I think it's also different from men. They have this thing where they feel like they could just go out here and stick anything that walks and they still love you and you should take them back.
It is, men and women are different. So quickly, let's switch the rules. If your significant other cheat and they come back to you and ask for forgiveness saying, I didn't love that hoe. I didn't love her. That's just like Jess put it, that's a stick.
Jump on.
How long, Kira, do you give him? Well, how long before Yeah.
How long I give him the plastic bag?
Exactly.
No,
and then I'll be at the first STD panel the next day, and then 6 months later, I'm going to do it again. So I take that too serious.
So Jess, you ain't take if someone comes, if your significant other who love you made a innocent mistake like that, right?
It ain't innocent now.
It's
innocent.
Do you know? Hold on, I'm glad we touched on this. Do you know how hard it is for if she's not a prostitute? And hear me out on this. You meet a prostitute, you give her, I don't know what the going rate is for prostitution or whatever. You give her the money,
$40.
Yeah, you give her the 40. She has sex with you and she leaves. There's no connection at all. But you meet a woman, you court her, you continuously text her, call her, take her lunch, take her on dates. You all might have even traveled. You are only sorry because I caught you. Do you know how hard it is for a man to get into a woman's drawers? Depending on who that woman is, he had to put in time and effort to sleep with that woman. You can't tell me no BS. How long it take for you to pack your effing bags? And if I catch anything, how long it take for me to for you to get what you need to get?
I think you've been a little bit hard up, man. But Dominica, what about you?
She summed it all up. She summed it up.
Right,
I've been in situations where I took people back after the cheating game. Took them back once, took them back twice, took them back 3 times. And that was torture all 3 times.
They treat you worse.
Yeah,
every time.
So because the thing is, they say, you know what? She did it once. She can take me back again. She can take me back 3 times. And if I be sweet the 4th time, she can take me back again. And all those times you expose yourself to demons. You expose yourself to sickness. You expose yourself to mental torture. No. That's why I'm single now, because I can't put up with that bullshit.
Single? Anyway,
Still.
My last two questions. Do do you think soul ties are real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
God help you to get tied to the wrong person.
So you saying that you could enter a new relationship but be still soul tied to your ex-boyfriend or ex whatever? Is that
Yes.
possible?
I believe so.
But
I
what
believe
happens? Would that affect your future relationship if you still
Yeah.
soul tied to? In which
Of
way?
course.
I hear about this. I hear about this phenomenon, but which way could this affect the relationship? Your future relationship. If you
Sexually.
still tied, so you said the sex may not be as good? Oh, I don't understand.
Soul ties, it's like you longing for something and you're not getting it in the current situation that you in.
So you
It's
say
it's like you could love this person, but it's still something missing. And for the life you can't figure out what that is missing. But when you go back to that person who your soul is tied to, you
bye
find whatever it is.
So a good guy could be or even a good woman could be treating their significant other good, but they still so. Oh, do men
It's
have
still
soul ties?
connected.
I
Both
thought-
genders have soul ties. It goes both ways. I think that's what has happened to a lot of these baby daddy, baby mama situations. Why they don't be able to effectively co-parent when you're in a relationship with a baby daddy. Not all now, because a lot of people have kids, right? But you're in a relationship with someone's baby's dad, and they still sleeping with the baby mother, calling it co-parenting and all these stuff. There is still something there with them, and you will see it's a very toxic situation, right? Situation is real toxic. And then when they finally lose that tie, or they finally get away from that, they can actually co-parent in a more fooling around, in a more toxicity. Like they can actually effectively co-parent with each other because they ain't fooling around no more. That's just an example. But there's a mental and a sexual thing that's going on with that.
So how do you break it? I mean, everybody's solutions. Is it a way to break a soul tie, or you just get used to? Kira, how do you break a soul tie?
I think it's rooted in dysfunction, and it's rooted in how you perceive yourself. And when you do that inner work and you really take the time to be to yourself after you break up with someone and really do that work, you can pull the pieces of yourself back and really understand what it is keeping you tied to that person. And you can
chop the person. You gotta see them.
Seeing them ain't the problem. Is you doing the work to be able to handle seeing them. I have an ex-husband. I have 2 kids with my ex-husband, and never once did I slip back into sleeping with him from I left him. And that's why when people talk
But you
about
probably got closure.
I didn't get closure. I didn't
You
get closure
didn't?
because at one point we filled out a contact form was 10 years. So there wasn't, it's literally sitting down and understanding how you got into the relationship, what went wrong in the relationship, taking stock of yourself and forgiving yourself. I feel like people don't do these processes of forgiving yourself, understanding yourself.
Self-healing.
Right, and understanding the other person and what went wrong, and then knowing when you go forward, you don't take that baggage with you into a new relationship because it's going to affect you negatively. You're going to always have that in the back of your mind as some type of comparison, which isn't fair to the person who honestly trying to give you their best.
Also, I don't think you need closure. I feel like whatever happened in a relationship, if the person was wrong, or even if you was wrong, that person did what they did. That's your closure right there. They did what they did, and that is that. You don't need to go and ask that same person who hurt you or who did whatever they did to you, why, or help me heal. How could the person who brought you the hurt and the pain help you? I don't think you need no closure. They did what they did, and that is that. It's easier said than done, though.
I agree with that, though. I don't think you need definite closure, buddy. Move on.
No, because you need to come to grips with is yourself and what you allowed to happen and what you prepared to allow to happen again.
That's my last question for the night. Then y'all could go. Oh, the sushi going in here, eh? But anyway,
Yes, God.
Jess, you any more food left in the pot, or you ain't cook tonight? Any more food in this?
Yeah, actually, but that for tomorrow. I don't eat it. That's twice.
Kara, I know you got something in the pot.
Who?
Here's the last question.
I hope for now when I go there, he cook.
That's the last question. Can single friends make it hard for friends that are in a relationship or marriage? Can single friends make it harder for friends that are in a relationship or marriage? You say yes or no, or yay or nay, or no. Or
No.
No?
Oh, yeah, I going with no.
Can single friends, man, Dominica, man, you always under this nigga. Come on, man, let's go out. What happened? You every time I hear about just you and him. Let's go out, man. Let's go. Let's tell them some financial trip. Let's go to Vegas for the weekend. Can single friends who got no man, who got multiple men, because they make it harder for a woman who is in a committed relationship? Dominica.
I think it depends on the individual. Because nobody can make me do what I don't want to do. So it some people are leaders and some people are followers. It depends on the individual.
Okay. Kira, can your single friends tell you, say, let's go down to the pub right now? You in a Lutra? Let's go to the tree.
I have single friends. We hang out. It's never been a problem. It's never been a problem.
It's just the boundaries. That's all. It's just the boundaries.
So if your single friend said, Jess, I dealing with this freaking sugar daddy who ready to finance our trip for a week to Dubai, but you can't bring no Josan to the beach. What you saying, girl?
Okay, so the thing is with that, right? So make me laugh. Sorry, I will be serious. But
Dubai.
If he find accident that I can't bring nobody, right?
No, you can't.
What does that have to?
You can't bring.
I can't bring my boyfriend, right? No, right?
No.
What does that have to do with anything? Let him pay for the trip, but that ain't affecting my relationship because I get a free trip. No.
Men there.
Oh, other he bring in a man for me.
Yeah, you can have men there. Yes, they got, because you look good. They can bring men there, but you can't bring it. But everything can be paid for. Your hotel room, all your food, your little camel ride thing.
But even if let's say that does happen, it's still up to me to make the decision if I'm gonna do anything with these men. I might just be going for a free trip. Men could be all over the place. I ain't saying I could do it, but it's still boundaries and up to me. And then also, I don't think I would put myself in that position where I'm at now mentally in my life. I wouldn't put myself in that position. Like I could, but it's just up to the individuals.
No free
Shall I go in? I go in. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I go in.
You gotta think about that though, Dominica. You gotta think.
Listen to me. If I could save how much to go to Dubai? If I could save everyone $3,000 and you paying for I go in.
Yeah, but what could happen to you on that trip? You gotta.
When I get over there, I can post the tree, y'all.
Oh, 1 week. It's 1 week. You gonna be over there for 1 week.
I will ghost all of y'all. Y'all go that way, but I go.
Ghosting. Ghosting. Because it's an itinerary set up. You're all going on the camel ride. You're all going on a cruise, a yacht. This ain't no cheap. This is a baller. I need a baller friend.
You could ball me. You could ball. If the only way you could get me to do something I don't want to do is if you plan on holding me down and raping me.
Yeah, it could be platonic. It could be platonic to the point where like nothing happened. I've been on a trip to Vegas before where I paid for my ticket though, but our accommodations, our food, transport was taken care of. We was there for 6 days, I believe.
Flip it.
Yeah.
Would you be cool if your boyfriend go on a trip all finance from a girl? Would y'all be cool with that for a week?
And this is the exact same reason why I'm not going, because I don't think I'd be comfortable with him going.
Dominica, would you be cool with that? Because you said, sure, I'm going. Would you be cool with
I'm
that?
single. I could go wherever I want to go. I'm single.
No.
You knew that in that scenario, you would have been in a relationship. So we want to know if your man could go with the females for a week.
No, he couldn't go.
See the same mess right there.
I being honest. Listen to me. Every hour on hour, I would have to been video calling him.
Right.
Yeah. So then blocked for 1 week.
Every hour on the hour. So if he have someone over there, she can get tired of me.
So if he has phone somehow, if he somehow lost his phone for a week, you'll be upset then.
I will. What it is? DHL a phone to him.
Yeah, but you gotta follow those.
FedEx. I will FedEx that to him.
So you said
But you want to go to buy on a free trip though. You want to go to buy on a free trip.
See, that's right there. That's why I say mentally where I at right now. I take it, you trip.
Oh, Jesus. Lord have mercy.
So you said if you don't talk to you in 1 week, but he come back with gifts and stuff in hand, you don't have a problem with that. He come back with bags.
I would have a problem. Listen to me. I would be at the airport waiting on him and the girl who can come off the plane.
No, she ain't coming.
I want beat. I want beat the two of them.
She ain't coming back. She's staying in Dubai, but she come up with bags for you.
We would have a problem. I ain't gonna lie. We have a problem.
Anyhow,
do unto others as you would have them do unto you,
like
Dominica.
that. I ain't thinking like that.
See?
All I'm thinking about is that free trip. I can be on.
That's all he takes.
And I know me. I know I can do nothing. But
He take the same way. He can't do nothing either.
yeah, well, sorry to hear that.
That's all. Like if I was him, I'd be dumping you right before the trip and making back
You
up a
better
week
do that,
later.
buddy. You better do that.
Then let's take you a trip to Miami. You know, rich people go to Miami. What is it? What with poor people go to Miami, rich people go to Orlando.
Florida, Florida girl. See, she don't go to Miami. She's go Florida, something like that.
He'll take you to Florida. Anyhow, listen. Thank you guys, ladies, for showing up. Let me go because I just want to get Jessie ain't get no more food. She said I got to eat all of that tomorrow.
My bag empty.
See, I gotta go anyhow. With that being said, thank you. I think my next week, but please, if you could come up with a topic, send it to me. But thank you for taking some time out. I just want to have a quick discussion. It was good, but you can't hang with Dominica. Dominic, you was the problem in your relationship. You was the freaking. Anyhow, ladies, y'all have a good night, eh? Thank you.
It was
All right.
good.
Good night.
Bye,
Good night,
guys. Good
everyone.
night. Thank you.